Hello and good evening to our beloved lecturer, Miss Pravina, and to all our fellow friends. My name is Muhammad Wais bin Saiful Azman and I'm from class DKM5A and my matrix number is 23 DKM 19 F1 032. Today, my friends and I gonna represent our research about social media. Okay, what is social media? Social media is a collective term of website and application which focus on collaborating, stay in touch with other, or we can say communicate. And there are a lot of others with the opinion that social media has helped improve and given us better option and way of staying connected to those we love, and we can disseminate news and information quicker through social media. Okay, next, let's move on to our objective. Our research plan is about to know the advantage of social media application because we want to analyze how social media application affect to the students' daily life. Next, second objective, we got to know the frequency of student using social media application, and the last one is to know the purpose of student using social media application. Alright, let's move on to demographic profile, which gender, students and races. Okay, from the data that we have collected, we got 19 male and 12 female. From that we got 31 students that has respond to our Google form, Okay, and races we got 28 Malay and 3 Indian that has respond. Okay, let's move on to our first bar chart, which is how many social media application did the student have. Alright, the bar graph shows that there are 8 students that have 4 number of social media applications. And next, let's talk about our second bar chart, which is how many times a day did the student use social media application. Not every day, there are only 1 student. Meanwhile, in 2 to 5 times a day, there are 8 students. And 5 to 10 times a day, there are 10 students. And the last one is 10 plus times a day, there are 12 students that use social media apps times a day. This bar graph pattern is very beautiful because it shows increasing.
Hello, my name is Muhammad Arif bin Zainuddin. My number metric is 23 DKM 19 F1 031. This is a pie chart shows students often post on social media. Percentage in Malay shows the largest percentage, which is 54.80%. Furthermore, 29% of students shows a passive attitude in social media by never posting on social media. Then there are 16.10% of students choosing to post on social media in each week. Next up, 0% of students to choose posting on social media in daily basis. Next is a bar graph. This bar graph shows students spend time on social media per day. mostly students spend in social media for 3 to 5 hours a day, with a total of 11 students. The amount of time spent by students in social media in 1 to 2 hours and 6 or more hours a day shows that the same people, which is 8 people, and then there are 3 students spend less than 30 minutes on the social media. Next is the bar graph. The bar graph shows students' time social media access. This bar graph shows clearly there are two main choices of students when they're using the social media, which is during free time and any spare moments. They spend they mostly spend more time in any spare moments, which is 58.1%, and then there are 38.7% the students using during free time to using the social media, and there are small percentage of students indicated to use social media before bed. There is 3.2%, and then the students are never use social media during at work. This is all for me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and greetings to non-Muslim. First of all, my name is Ismail Rifki bin Muhammad Rozi. I'm from DKM5A. So, I am as a third presenter. I will talking about the two of it. It was a bar graph, and then the last one was a pie chart. So there was a three graph I will talking with you. Okay. So let's share with you all of you. Okay. Okay. For the first graph, we can see here. Wait. There was a problem. Okay. Okay. For my first graph here, I will show you. It is about what the student will use about the social media for. So for the first graph, for the first bar, here we can see the dating was in about 0% only. So this is graph was shown in the percentage of students use social media for, in the percentage. So for the line here, line yellow here, the middle of the line yellow here, we can see is about the linear percentage that the students study use. So the linear is about going increasingly, or what we can say is goes to the uptrend line. Okay, so that was the side of this topic. So without further ado, we can go to the straight buying and selling. Buying and selling, the student choose this answer is about 3.2 percentage only. Then we can go to the next. The bar shown in it was increasingly rapidly, or what we can say it was goes dramatically in about 71%. So in this graph, this bar was very highest for this graph. So there was many students choose this answer about to browse or time waste. So maybe student would like to choose something new production or information. They will browsing, such as browse in the Google or Instagram, or checking some new episode of anime or something. So without maybe I forget to tell you that the lowest in this graph, it was about the dating, this one. Yeah, dating is about 0, so that was the lowest in this graph. And then for the last bar, we have 25.8% for the news. Maybe in this era, many students are very low about knowledge of the news for today. Maybe many students use social media to look about the browsing or checking some chat with their friends for this new era. So that's why the student was very low at the news one. Okay, so that was information that I know in this graph. So let's stick to the second. For the second, we have a pie chart that shown is about topic the student has social media affect a relationship, friend, family, or about romantic. So for the previous question, the student was answer in about ABCD. Yes, where the student should use A about dating, B buying and selling, C to browse and time wasting, and D is about news. But this graph, this pie chart, it was a different one, where the student should choose the yes or no answer only. Okay, if we can see here, the yes was about 61.3%, and the no, many students choose about 30%, 38.7% only. So this shown that the yes answer was very bigger than no answer. Okay, but this situation, relationship was very important in their life, or many people in their life, such as they has a relationship between their friend, family, or with their couple ones. But for the no situation, this no answer, maybe we could say that the student was choose the answer because maybe they do not always use their social media, or maybe they do not have any phone, or maybe they do not always checking their phone in their daily time. Okay, so for the last of my chart or graph, I will telling you about how useful social media for learning. Or maybe I could say how useful social media for learning, especially for students. Okay, for the first bar graph, for the first bar, we can see we have get some first answer very useful for A, B was useful, C was good, and D was not useful. So the answer for very useful, we have 35.5%. So this chart was also in percentage answer. Okay. Sorry. Okay. For the first, we have 35.5%, and then for the second bar, we have increased slightly into the 45.2%. For it was useful for student. It was a difference between very useful, right? Okay, and then we have a 19.44%. It was dropped very dramatically into 19.4%. Good. Maybe many student was answer this good. It was we can think it about student was have a very poor line or something, very poor line, or maybe he did not have a very nice device on it. Okay, and then the last bar we have a 0. So we have expect that many students did not answer that the answer right, not useful. Okay, for this line chart we have a downtrend, we can see. So but this line chart we can talk about, it can be in uptrend also, because we can twist it like this, right? Very useful, we put it this right here. Not useful, we put right here, become 0, so it come downtrend. But in this chart it shown that was a downtrend from high level to lowest level. So before I end it, I talking about the highest point for social media, it was 45.2%. For the lowest it was 0 we have. Okay, I think that's all for my as I third presenter. So thank you very much.
So as we can see in the graph, the bar with the highest percentage after Snapchat and WhatsApp, it shows that students often use these two applications because of the work and listening actively. The app is also useful for students making group chats to discuss work that need to done together and share information with each other. This app allows us to chat with the loved one who live far away. For the second app is Instagram. People use this app for post their pics and share about their daily routine. They can also post picture and tag their friends. Instagram also can register with friends they get to know online. So next app is Twitter. Some students use this Twitter application to express their feeling like stress when completing paper and assignment. Also express some problems about their daily life. Last app is Facebook. Students rarely use this app because they use of Facebook and Instagram to take email. So most of them prefer using Instagram to interact with a lot of people. Next slide is social media improve my communication skill. Social media apps improve my communication skill because with the use of all these social media can help us to get to know others, make a new friend, and be able to get to know outsiders. So social media very useful not only for students but useful for all individuals, and we can also learn various knowledge from social media and increase our knowledge. Conclusion for this topic, from the graph, it is clearly show that the social media applications are very useful, and there are a lot of benefits that give to the student, which is stay in touch with other listeners and do some research for news and studies.